Hello, today we are going to make a card using the Let's Toast pull tab from Fawn. So here I have some images that I've already stamped and colored. I like to have some just on hand. I color just for fun sometimes. And so these ones I have done a while ago. So I just am going to use the die cuts for them. They are from the Avery Elle set, but I will show you that later. This is the Let's Toast pull tab die set. I am using this blue from the SEI Charlemagne paper pack. I cut it down to 5 inches by 3 3/4. This piece will cut out where our pull tab will actually be at the top of our card, and then I am cutting out the little arrow for the pull tab out of this scrap piece of blue. So here we have it all cut out. I'm just trying to figure out where on my page I want my unicorn to be, and then I will be able to make it pop out of the clouds. So now that I have the placement, I can put in this little piece, and that is what our die cut will come through, and then I will attach the unicorn onto that. So here I am folding along the score lines, and then it will come through the back right here, and then I will attach the unicorn to that. I like to make sure that it slides well, and try and figure out the placement of my unicorn. It is too big, the tab's in the back, so I am just gonna trim it down. I was gonna trim it that way, but I decided to trim the long way instead and see if that works. I kind of played around with the position of the unicorn, trying to figure out how it would be the best to have it hide behind the cloud and still be able to pop out. I ended up trimming a little bit more off, and then my unicorn fit without showing any of the back. So then I just put some Scrappy Tape on the mechanism, and I attach my unicorn onto there. Now that I have my unicorn in place, I can figure out placement for my cloud and how much of my unicorn I want to be able to come out. So I put these double-sided foam squares on the back of my cloud so that it'll stick up and it won't hold down my unicorn, so my unicorn can slide up and down easily. I kept trying to figure out placement and sliding it without actually attaching my cloud to the card base, but it just wasn't working. So I'm just gonna attach it and kind of hope for the best. It did turn out pretty good in the placement, so I was happy with how much you could see of it popping out there. Now I'm trying to figure out how I want to place my clouds, and I just decided these little clouds were in the way, so I just kind of fussy cut them a little bit, and I'll probably use them for another project. But this one, it just wasn't working out with them. So now I'll just put some of those foam squares on the bottom of my rainbow, and then I put a little bit of the 1/8 inch Scrappy Tape along the top, and that will attach it to the cloud with the unicorn, and then it'll be able to also stand on its own and not angle down. And once I got it on there, I realized that I wanted more of it to show, so I just kind of cut my cloud a little more. And these clouds actually came pre-cut in a kit I got from SEI. So just cut it a little bit till it looked how I wanted it. That's the nice thing about clouds, is nothing has to be perfect. And then I just added more of those little foam squares so that it will stick up off the front of the card as well, and it can go over that rainbow. So once I got that all in place and I liked the placement, I pushed that to the bottom and trimmed off the excess at the top. Make sure it still worked. Now I am going to attach this little piece, and it's kind of a guide, I would say, that it just keeps your pull tab from moving side to side. So I just put a little bit of tape on the small flap and then on the back flap so that I can attach it to the card and then attach it to itself so that the mechanism can slide through the middle. Now that I've got that part done, I'm going to attach my little embellishment over my pull tab. I wish I had folded this in half first. Excuse me, I just finished a run and my voice hasn't come back yet. I wish I had folded it on the score line first before I put the tape on, but it turned out. So, you know. You live and you learn, right? I feel like that's a lot of card making, is you make mistakes and you figure it out and the next one's a little bit better. So I ended up using the white one. I did cut a blue one, as you saw earlier, but I cut this white one and I think I like the look of it better. And then I took the blue piece and stuck it in the middle just to give it a little bit of interest. So, and there is the front. So now that that front part's done, we add double-sided puffy tape, and you just add it around the outside. You don't want it interfering with your mechanism, your pull tabs. So I just made sure that it would move freely, and then I added a little bit more at the top. This is another thing I wish I had done, is done a double layer. That way when I put it on the actual card base, like, it looked thick enough, but when I put it on the card base, it was just too close. So here I am stamping. I'm going to heat emboss my saying. It says, "I believe in you." And then I can use this as a birthday card or an encouragement card, just depending on what the situation calls for. So now that I've got my placement, I do my anti-static powder and then my Versamark ink, make sure everything inked on well. And then I can pull it out and put on my white Lawn Fawn embossing powder. Make sure there's no little stray pieces. I'm good to heat emboss. So now that it's all heat embossed and ready to go, I am just going to pull off the back of this double-sided foam tape, and you can tell I kind of struggle pulling off the back of my tape. For some reason, I always struggle with that. So maybe because my nails are typically really short. But once I finally get it all off, I will put it on to my card base, which is 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then I am going to make sure my mechanism still slides well, which it does happily. It's a little tight pulling it out. So I do wish I had done the second layer of the double-sided puff tape. So now I trim off my clouds, make sure it'll fit in my envelope well, and it's done. I hope you enjoyed and that you will give this a try. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.